So I thought that it would be important to really talk about the legacy of our kids. And I thought of it this way. Legacy is not a hashtag. What are we actually teaching our children? So when we talk about Black History Month, we often talk about the past, but today I want to talk about the future. More specifically, the legacy we are building right now. Because a legacy isn't something we leave when we die. It's something we build in front of our children every single day. As a clinician, as a parent, and soon, as we speak, a grandparent, I ask myself one question over and over. When my children look back at this moment in history, what will they say that I stood for? Will they say that I just posted online, or will they say that I participated? To me, there's a big difference. We live in a time when it's really easy to respond online. It's easy to comment, it's easy to repost outrage. But legacy is not built in comment sections on social media. Legacy is built in school meetings. Legacy is built in local elections. Legacy is built in who we financially support. Legacy is built in the phone calls we make, the emails we send, the rooms we actually sit in when they are uncomfortable. We can't tell our children to be brave if we're only brave behind a keyboard. Black History Month reminds us that the freedoms many of us benefit from did not come from a viral post. They came from sustained effort, taking risks, organization, and strategy. Change came from people who researched where systems were broken, who understood policies, worked behind the scenes, and not just to be seen. Flooded inboxes from private businesses who demanded better educational standards for children. Who understood that economics is power, and that still matters. If a business exploits the pain of marginalized communities for profit, we have power. Research where you shop, ask who they donate to, ask who they perform, and let them know when harm is being done. These are things I have personally done without it being known. Flood inboxes, respectfully, firmly, and consistently. Free speech in America means the government cannot jail you for your opinion. It does not mean your speech is free from consequence. It does not mean it's free from moral evaluation, and it does not mean it is free from our refusal to support it. Free speech protects expression. It does not absolve responsibility. And when leaders amplify vile, racist content, when cruelty is normalized, when dehumanization is reposted, our kids are watching. They are watching how we respond. Do we just shrug? Do we excuse it? Do we say, oh, that's just politics? Or do we say, not in rage, but in clarity, that is not who we are, that is not who I am, and that is not the country I want you to inherit. Because here's what I want my children to know. I want them to know that I did more than react. I want them to know that I showed up. I want them to know that I educated myself about systems, educational, economic, healthcare. I want them to know that I used my professional voice responsibly. I want them to know that I had very uncomfortable conversations. And then I want them to know that I stood in rooms where change actually happens. Not perfectly, but consistently. Black History Month is not just about honoring those who marched before us. It's about deciding whether we will continue the work. For me, this is what the work looks like. Teaching our children accurate history. Voting in local elections. Serving on